Welcome back to Snipe City Cards. We got a little bit of a different video for you guys today. We're still going to open a couple of cards, but we're going to have a discussion with Chris, Anth, and Paul. And if we like their takes, maybe we'll reward them with some cards. But we're talking all hockey out here today. So a bit of a different video. Let me know what you guys think. Enjoy.
Okay, so first, Max Domi getting scratched. Floor is open. Paul, Max Domi getting scratched. Deserved, not deserved? Is Torts a good coach? Is he a bad coach?
I don't know. You know what, man? I get a feeling like these players are giving up on the bench boss pretty early. You see Line getting dealt over there, and you see he got benched pretty quickly as well. So I kind of feel like the players aren't buying into his plan there. Domi, I never liked the deal for Anderson. I always thought Anderson was the better player. I know Domi had a good season in Montreal back in, I think it was 2018, where he had almost 30 goals. And I think everyone looks at that season and kind of like overrates him a little bit. Anderson, I did a little research too. And if you looked at when Vegas came in, Columbus protected Domi. They actually traded a first-round pick to Anderson. They actually traded a first-round pick to Vegas so that they wouldn't take Anderson. So they pretty much traded a first and Anderson for Domi, and he came in and wasn't really producing. What does he have, like 7 goals right now, or something like that? 7, 8 goals. Yeah,
when they
I don't know.
protected Anderson, he was actually playing well though, because it was the year after that he fell right off the map, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it's a little bit of everything in there. You know, Torts is known to be hard to play against as well, right? So,
Chris?
Yeah, with Domi though, I think he's a decent player because if you look at it every season, he produces. This year, not so much. He's got 19 points, but I think it's more of an attitude thing or something in the locker room with him. So, and when you have an attitude with Torts, you know who wins that.
Anderson gives Montreal a lot, I think. I mean, you see him on productive. He's always on the score sheet, and you can't forget about his big body, the size he adds to that roster. And Montreal is always known to be a small team. And I don't know, he came in right out of the gates. I remember.
Production-wise, they're similar. One gets more goals and a bigger body, and one's a centerman.
Yeah.
Is the purpose of benching a player though it's to make some sort of relative improvement though? Like, doesn't it kind of it's like a trick in your bag, Doesn't it kind of lose? Like, you ever work for a boss that just screamed at you all day long, and after like the first week, you're just like, okay, like this guy's just gonna yell. You're not even listening to him anymore, right?
Yeah,
that's true. You kind of mute him, yeah.
I think there are not many coaches who bench their better players in the first place. And
Shifley got benched for a good 10, 15 minutes last game.
Who?
Shifley.
Oh, yeah, with
game.
Yeah.
To me, it's like prove your point and then go. That's it. Go on with it, right? Like Maurice benched him because he did a lousy line change that led to a goal. I mean, I think it was still 2-on-1 anyways, and they would have scored anyways, but fine, you benched him for the end of the second period and a couple of shifts into the third period, and then let him go back out and play.
When you do bench a player, what are you trying to teach him? Like Skinner said it. Skinner, when he was benched in Buffalo, he came out and he said, "I'm not going to learn anything by being benched, by not playing."
I don't know. I think some of these players are just entitled.
Next up, this is the good one here. Marc-Andre Fleury. My boy. Paul's boy.
Yeah.
Hey, before we even get into it, wins should not be a stat for goalies. That's what a coach needs to do, is win. But what does the goalie need to do?
The goalie needs to win.
Stop the puck. And what do a player needs to do? Score the goal.
Wins.
Why isn't wins categorized with players?
Players.
No, it's not. They don't. They don't use
in
that
the grand scheme.
They don't use that stat to judge a player.
You don't use just wins to judge a goalie, but you use
but it shouldn't be used. Period. It shouldn't.
You're not an all-time great player if you don't win a Stanley Cup.
Sorry.
You're not an all-time great player if you don't win a Stanley Cup. If Ovechkin didn't win his cup, he would never be that good.
But that's winning the cup, not wins in particular. You can
It's
have a
still
million
wins.
wins in the regular season and not win a cup. Example, Joe Thornton.
Okay, but we talked about Fleury's underlying numbers. They're not like they're.
I was gonna
league-wide
say,
the last 10
I was
years,
gonna
he's-
say, put the wins aside and look at his numbers. They're not horrible. You know what I
They're
mean?
not
Yeah, he's
horrible. I'm
played.
not saying he's a terrible goalie, but I don't think he's an elite or a great goalie. He's not.
Okay.
Well, his numbers are top 10 in the league in the last 10 years. Most of them, top 10, top 15 of any goal.
He's never won the Vezina, and he's never been nominated. How can you be an elite goalie if you've never won the best goalie award in the regular season?
That
Or
could be
even
circumstantial.
nominated?
So he's underrated then.
He's not. If there's a reason why he's not nominated.
I don't know,
His
you
numbers
kinda-
don't allow him to be.
I think the seasons where he did, maybe should have been nominated. Maybe they're better goalies in that season. You know what I mean? And that didn't allow him to be nominated that one season. You know what I mean? Like if you look at his numbers in a season where he won the Stanley Cup, were his numbers like just under
The season where he won the Stanley Cup as a starter, his numbers in the playoffs were poots.
weren't that good? No, but I'm just saying.
And that's the only time he's won something.
Yeah.
Every other time he's won something, he was a backup.
In the last 10 years, of the most games played amongst goalies, the top 15, Marc-Andre Fleury being the most at 511 games, and Ben Bishop being the least of the top 15 at 400 games. Marc-Andre Fleury's goals against average is fourth best. You've got Tuukka Rask at 2.27. You got Ben Bishop at 2.31. You got Jonathan Quick at 2.40 and Marc-Andre Fleury at 2.43. Better than Rene, better than Price, better than Lundqvist, Bobrovsky, Mike Smith, Braden Holtby,
The last 10 years favors his career more. If you go to his whole entire career, though, his numbers go way up.
But still,
yeah, he definitely
a couple of bad years when you start when you're young. So what about your last 10 years? I think that's a big enough size sample. Save percentage amongst the same 15 goalies is a 916. Carey Price is a 917. Lundqvist has a 918. Bobrovsky has a 917. Rask has a 921. Crawford had a 918. And Bishop has a 921. I don't know how many guys that was, but that puts him like top 7, top 8.
He's also been on a team that's been very good, made the playoffs his whole career.
So some of these other guys, though. Corey Crawford's on this list. Is he a good goalie?
I think they're like the same in the same category. Crawford at least has won cups as a starter.
You think Crawford's better than Fleury?
I don't like Crawford as a goalie, so I don't know who
I've
I
never
would
liked
take.
Crawford either.
I think Crawford's overrated too.
Remember he signed in New Jersey and retired just before the season, so that was probably going to be would have been a good test there for sure. I don't know. For me, I'm probably be a little bit biased, obviously. Fleury was one of my favorite goalies. I just, I know you guys look at it, and
he's a good goalie. He should not be in the same like he's got 4th wins, but he should not be in the same conversation as a Brodeur, a Luongo, a Raw. Sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Much better goalies than him.
You getting him fired up, man.
I know he's getting all angry.
This was the one topic he was ready for.
I know.
So
you don't think Fleury's as good as Brodeur, Waugh? Like no one's saying he's that good, but like
no, but he's a good goalie. He's above average, but he's not great.
Is Patrick Marleau better than Gordie Howe? Does Patrick Marleau deserve to have the all-time great games played list?
But those are that's tough to compare. Howe played in such a different era.
But like you can kind of say that about any stat, about anyone that's like high in a certain category of stats. You can say like, did they really deserve to be there compared to the people that?
Yeah, but like Brodeur and Waugh, at least they're more relative. They've played in the butterfly era.
I guess like Mike Gartner has more points than Mark Messier.
I don't know. For me, you've counted wins for goalies for the longest time. And I mean, a lot of the goalies up there, they've been tracking the stat, right? So you're always gonna keep that going. You're not gonna change it, even if like the goalie isn't deserving.
Look at
for
Osgood.
me.
Everyone knew Osgood wasn't like a great goalie. He did the
Yeah, but
job.
where's the rest of his numbers?
Osgood, though, had better playoff numbers if you look into it. He played better in the playoffs.
The team around him
Yeah.
played better.
Then if
Yeah,
you wanna
Detroit
say
was
the
a
team
Detroit
around,
was elite. Detroit was elite, man.
they were elite, yeah, for sure.
All right, bad take for Chris. So Paulo gets 1 pack.
I don't know. I think Chris's makes a good argument. You know,
I'm not
I've
saying
seen
he's a
Fleur-
bad goalie. I'm saying he's not great or elite. You can't say he's great or elite. I'm sorry.
I've seen Fleury. I mean, the eye test to you guys don't mean anything, but I've seen him all his career, and there's so many. There were so many instances where I was like, "This guy's amazing." Like,
So how many
he's
times has he let you down in the playoffs, Paul? Come on.
yeah.
He's been
In
the reason you guys don't go on.
he has. I'll attest to that for sure.
That's most important when the game's on the line in the playoffs. And this guy's
Yeah.
got 1 cup, and when he won the cup, he wasn't even the reason why he won the cup. His whole career, Malkin and Crosby.
Remember he also carried the team to the playoffs while we had significant injuries, man. So I mean, yeah, it's his job to do that, but there's been a lot of situations where Pittsburgh would have easily missed the playoffs if he wasn't around, right?
Sure, I give you that.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Paul,
I mean,
your good take gets you a PD portrait.
There you go. Look at that, Chris.
I don't agree with these good take, bad takes. The host
I know.
is biased here.
The system works, man. The system
Still got a
works.
PD.
Speaking of PD and the Canucks, the Maple Leafs, they can beat the Jets. They can beat all the good teams. They can't beat the Sens, and they can't beat Vancouver with half their players died from COVID. They literally couldn't skate beyond 4 minutes into the game on the first game. The second game, they had a bit more legs, and the Leafs blew it. I know you guys are both Leaf haters, so you're probably not going to get any cards for any of your takes right now.
But the next game was the Leafs were trying to make a pretty goal. They were on the outside the whole game. They didn't Canucks, the way Canucks play these better teams, more skilled teams, is they just plant themselves in the center of the ice, let them skate around on the sides. They do it with Toronto, they do it with Edmonton, and the Leafs just had the possession the whole game, but a lucky bounce here and there. Our goalie played out of his ass, and the Leafs lost.
Yeah, hope he played
Not a
well
big
for
deal.
sure.
They're 4 points in the standings, man. Like, you know.
No, I'm saying it's not a big deal that the Leafs
For
lost
the
to
Leafs?
this Canucks team. Like,
Well-
they lost, okay, who cares? They're not going to play like that in the playoffs. Who would
How
the
do you-
Leafs
how-
rather face, Montreal or Edmonton?
I don't think it matters in the top four. I think the Leafs are the favorite to get out of that division
No, I agree.
with,
For sure.
I don't want to say with relative ease, but there's no matchup that I'm afraid of.
The Leafs should go to the semis. If they don't go to the semis this year, it's a complete failure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
no, I want to hear from Stevie actually. Like, when it's game day, do you even care what happens? Because I mean, they should be winning
I just
every
want
single
them to
game
play
here.
well. I want them to play well. But there's the Jets were throwing their body around, right? And they answered back well yesterday. Everyone. Even Sandin, that hit on Wheeler, great hit. Just braced himself. It sucks for Wheeler that he was the one guy that wasn't trying to run him into the boards, but his first 3-4 shifts that game, guys are finishing their checks hard. So it's nice to see that the Leafs will check back a little bit. Thornton had a bit of an edge. He cross-checked Ehlers, broke his stick in half over Ehlers. There's a lot of
But no team scares you here, right? Like, they should easily, like Chris said, walk right into the semis.
yeah.
The
How
only
about,
one giving them trouble would be Winnipeg. Edmonton's a joke. Montreal's a joke.
You don't think a team like Edmonton can scare you if McDavid jumps on his horse? No? Draisaitl, no?
Edmonton's a two-trick pony. I don't think they have anything else. Yeah,
But remember, you got
2 goals, but
Who's
Yeah, but
gonna save them on goal? Smith? Are you kidding me? He's playing
Well,
okay now. This guy's gonna crumble. I guarantee it.
we know playoffs. It's a whole different beast. Guys start getting hot. Guys get cold. Like, anything could happen, really.
I
All you
agree.
need
Plus,
is
the whistle's gonna go away. Edmonton relies on the power play so much.
so did the Leafs
Okay.
at the start of the season, so they can't score on their power
But
play
the Leafs,
anymore.
I think, have more offensive talent, man. Down all 4 lines.
No, I agree.
How about is goaltending concerning for you, Stevie? With the Leafs?
Yeah, Campbell hasn't looked too hot. Campbell stood in his head, and now he looks like a shaky 1B backup goal. Not backup, but he doesn't look like a starter.
Like, is this something that like is concerning for the Leafs going forward into the playoffs? I mean,
I think so a
can they
little, but
run
they
with
should
them
be able
regardless?
to, as a team, like we talk about Osgood being a not good goalie and winning Stanley Cups on Detroit. Like as a team, they're far beyond where they need to rely on having a. We're not the Cujo or the Belfour era where the team was lackluster and you had one good goalie that stood in his head that got you places. Like as a whole, you should be able to contend. I'd even say you should be able to win a cup with an average team with an average goalie like the
Leafs
Leafs.
have
like
two good
Chicago did with
centers.
Crawford.
The
Sorry.
Leafs have two good centers, and how many like really good forwards?
Oh, I think I sent the messages to you guys the other day. They're like 5.5 lines deep. If you
Yeah, what I'm saying, like you don't need a great goalie. You need an
No.
average goalie. That's all you
Mhm.
need. You need an
Yeah.
average goalie to move forward.
And
And
if Campbell lets in a weak goal or Anderson lets in a weak goal, there's no reason why your team should not recover and outscore
Respond.
the team.
well, that's what's happened the last few years, and they didn't. Someone would let in a weak goal, and the team would like.
But this is
Columbus
how your
last
team
round, or
is
just
built,
everything
though.
else.
This
The
is
Leafs
how your
play
team
down to
is
these
built.
teams.
yeah, what team in the East scares you, Stevie, or should scare the Toronto Maple Leafs in the
In
semis?
the East Division,
Yeah, if they're talking about, I guess eventually, well, they have to cross over eventually.
league wide, there's a lot of teams that scare. Basically, anyone in the East: Washington, Pittsburgh, New York, Boston. The Central's a bit
Vegas.
weird because Nashville has been kind of bad and then kind of good. So I don't know what you get out of Nashville, but Tampa Bay, obviously, and then same thing, Carolina and Florida. They're, having a good season.
I don't think Florida will do anything in the playoffs. I don't know.
And then the West, you got Vegas and Colorado. Whoever makes it out of the West, I'm assuming nobody else will. Minnesota, Arizona, St. Louis, or no one else is the favorite. Obviously, anything will happen, but
Be in the semis
least,
regardless.
depending on the alignment, least Colorado Stanley Cup final this year, I think would be a pretty good series to watch.
Well, like I said, like playoffs are a whole different beast, right? All you need is a team to get hot, and everything starts going in for them, right? And like
It's
we've seen it
man.
tons
One lucky
before.
bounce, right? Yeah,
That's
one
all it
lucky
takes. A
bounce.
lucky call, a lucky bounce, an injury, like anything could happen, really. So I don't know, but if you're putting, I guess, healthy team versus healthy team, yeah, Toronto should have the edge over any of those teams there for sure.
Let's try
Oh
that
God.
again. Lafreniere.
I'll buy his hockey card. I'll buy his
Goggles.
hockey card for
You're buying his hockey
$150.
card in?
I'll buy it.
You're buying it. So it used to sell for $350 at $150. The market's doubled. So you're buying.
You buy low and you sell high. It's good.
So
it's a good value.
You think if you buy high though and he's a bust, like you can get a Yakupov Young Guns for $1.
Oh my God.
That's
I'm
pretty high.
I'm not buying them.
So you're not buying Lafreniere.
It's
No,
I think
player.
I'd pass as well.
I think
I'd
he's
pass
more
as
like
well.
a Nolan, or I don't know.
So
I think he's gonna be a bust. I think so.
Okay. I think he's gonna be. I don't know. We talked about this a little bit. So he's obviously not gonna hit. Well, maybe not obviously, but no one thinks he's gonna hit that McDavid, Matthews, Crosby.
No, I don't think
If anything, he's like a fourth tier guy, offensive guy.
So what do you? Okay, so that's pretty much everyone's top tier. What's like your second tier? That's like your Mitch Marner, your Barzal, those guys.
I don't think he makes it to that tier either.
So then what's your next? Like what's his comparison? Like a couple down, I got, like we were talking about Jack Hughes. I have Jack Hughes in the same boat as like a William Nylander kind of guy. They kind of play a little bit at the same way, kind of drive the play a bit the same way, a little bit on the perimeter side. You think he's going to hit Jack Hughes, William Nylander, or not even that?
I think more so for that than like a Marner status.
Not very rarely, but like he killed juniors. He had the size, the speed, the skill.
And that's why I think he'll probably turn into like a second tier guy. I think he's just getting comfortable. And like I said, the Rangers, they're a good upcoming team, man. And they have a lot of young kids. They got that Kravtsov guy that just came in and just started playing. I think it's fifth game or sixth game. They got a lot of young talent surrounding him, and they got some vets like Kreider and Zibanejad there. So that's
the other end of the coin, though. If you got a lot of guys like that, like it didn't help Yakupov that he was playing on a team with like Eberle and Hall and everything like that, you know. Not saying like he ultimately he is what he is, but how long until you struggle until your coach decides to,
Yeah, that's a
to put
good
you
point
down the
too.
lineup.
Even Capo Caco here, another guy, second overall. He's struggling too.
Yeah, that's another guy that I don't feel like he's.
And this guy's got the size. Holy jeez.
Well, good takes. This pack's gonna have a Lafreniere. I already know that. So we'll see if you want it for $150 after we pull it. No Laffy here. We got a can with something or rather.
JVR baby.
JVR. So what I have left on the list, decide what you want to tackle. We have expansion draft discussions. We have, are the Leafs a dirty team? I think that should be a quick one to wrap up. We have player safety and suspensions, which I think Chris is going to go off on. And playoff predictions. That's all I got thus far.
I'd love Chris to work for.
We're trying to open some hobby packs
for player safety.
Player safety. Yeah.
Everyone will be suspended.
We won't have a league, man.
Don't worry. I won't be afraid to suspend star players.
So there's been like pretty
much no
suspensions this year, right? Very, very little. There's been some fines.
Those fines are a joke. Those fines are a complete joke. You suspend Edler for a knee, but you fine Thornton for a high head hit.
Yes.
There was 12 suspensions this year. And the longest one was Tom Wilson on Brendan Carlo, 7 games.
Right. So my take was the best take. So this is my pack, by the way. You guys, I don't like your takes. We got Ricard.
Oh, nice. Ricard Raquel.
I don't know.
You deserve it, Steve.
I don't know what I think. Like, I don't think Edler intentionally did that play. Kevin Bieksa said it pretty good on Hockey Night in Canada. He's like, when you're tired, you've been on for a 3-minute shift. It's an instinctual thing for your body to do that. The guy's trying to get around you, and you're just trying to not, I don't think he put his knee out to try and rip his knee out. I don't think it was intentional.
I think Edler deserved the suspension. I have nothing wrong with that. But when you're not suspending other players for, in my opinion, worse actions, it makes me so frustrated.
Yeah, there's certainly more protection for certain players. Yeah, I mean, I don't. And a lot of goals,
like that need that
McDavid play, right?
That need a knee Edler did. If this was the playoffs and it was Matthews who did that to somebody, there's no way Matthews is getting suspended. Impossible.
Probably, yeah.
And that's what I don't agree with.
I agree. But you guys are going on about the McDavid play, and I know we had disagreeing when McDavid high hit, whatever you want to say. You guys wanted him suspended, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
that hit. That was
that one. You could, when I slowed it down, you could see his head wasn't the target. I think it caught his shoulder first.
But
I don't think that's
his elbow went up. Because that goes back to injury, though. You try to hurt somebody and you don't injure him, you don't get suspended, but you still try to hurt him.
Okay, I like your take. This is what you get for that take. You get a
Bertuzzi,
a Dylan Larkin.
Who's out for the season as well. I mean, it's hard to judge on intent. Like, you could see he's probably hitting high, but he didn't hit him. That's the thing. Like, I don't know how many hits.
This all boils down to consistency, and this same thing applies with the penalties. You're going to see playoffs now, and then the whistle's going to go away, and then some teams are going to get calls, some teams aren't going to get calls, and it's going to be a joke every year.
So you'd run the playoffs. You'd run the refereeing in the playoffs exactly as it is in the regular season.
I would.
But
I wouldn't be calling these little cheap penalties in the regular season.
If you want to call everything by the rule book, you're not going to play hockey because everything's going to be called.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to let one go over another, and then that's how referees ref the game now, man. They'll let one go, but call the same thing 3 minutes later somewhere else. Like,
I just think don't call as many penalties.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of weak calls too, where like you barely touch a guy and they call, and then there's the obvious ones that have to be called, but the makeup stuff I don't think will ever go away.
Like, I don't mind tripping. Tripping is obvious, right? But like these little hacks on the arm, sometimes they don't impede the player at all, and you're getting
that
called.
all started when when was it Mark Mathot? It was a little hack, didn't look like a big hack at all. Remember his finger was in pieces. That's when they
That was
started
Crosby.
a lot more.
That
Crosby did that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goon.
30.
Goon squad.
30.
Goon
30.
squad.
Hey, I didn't come here to get attacked, eh? Go call Crosby and tell him that. I don't care.
Come on, what's his number?
I had them on speed dial.
Yeah.
This one's for Ant. He hasn't been saying much, but
Hey.
that's Nicholas Backstrom.
Boom.
Hutchkins in the back.
So yeah, we got expansion draft. Do you think it's gonna be as crazy as Vegas? You think
No.
everyone's gonna be? I think a lot of teams paid a lot of money to Vegas, like easy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I
First
don't
round
think you're
picks
gonna
all
get that
around.
again.
Yeah. No, I think a lot of teams, they learn from their mistakes there. So they're probably planning early to see what they can do. I think COVID threw a curveball in there with all the uncertainties, but overall, I think teams are being a little bit more careful with giving up their picks and players and whatnot this time around.
Are there any different rules with this year's expansion?
I
Or the
think it's
same
the
rules?
same.
Pretty much the
I
same
think
as
it-
far as I know.
Yeah, I think it's the same.
Good take, Paul.
But
Let's see what you get for that take.
I love these cards.
Oh,
it is Snipe
Kravtsov.
City cards,
We
Dazzlers, and you get
mentioned-
a what's that?
Ellis.
Looks like he's wearing a construction helmet hat.
Yeah, right. Oh man, those are awesome. We should get some of our QKT ones like that. You can make some cute cartoon QKT cards, no? Come on.
There's guys out there. They're on Insta.
That's awesome, man.
I'll hook it up. Well,
Get on there.
Next pod
can
or the one
make-
after, I'll get some custom ones. We'll have
You can make cards. Ant's got the t-shirt business going.
There you go.
Jesus, you can make this thing a
Our
huge,
merchandise.
yeah.
That's it. We're done. Make
So
it,
you guys
make it
aren't
big.
expecting big things for the expansion draft, eh?
I don't
There's a
think
couple
so.
of teams that are a little handcuffed. Like for example, the Leafs. If you do the 7 forwards, 3D, and a goalie.
Yeah.
So you're going to protect Campbell because Anderson's pretty much unaffordable unless if Anderson goes on a crazy run in the playoffs, but his contract's up.
Yeah, I think he's done too.
Yeah, and then 7 forwards, that covers most of your main guys that you need once you take out the rookies. But on the D side, you got Riley, Brody, and then who? Muzzin, Hall, and Dermott are all available.
Yo,
I'd
I'm
probably say
loving
you have
how he's playing, man.
Yeah, I'd say you have to
Dermott, you
plug
don't
them all.
protect. You don't protect Dermott.
No, Dermott, you don't protect.
I think that if I'm an expansion team, I think I'd take Dermott off.
I think
Seattle,
he'd
I'd
be
take
a
Dermott
clutch.
from the Leafs.
Yeah, I think he'd be a clutch player to have for Seattle, of course.
He's got all the skill. He's got everything there. He just hasn't been able to turn it into the total package. He's got speed. He can play. He understands the game. He plays a little physically as well. I don't know.
I'd look for Vancouver. We're fine, I think.
Who's the best guy available for Vancouver?
Maybe Holtby, but I think they'd probably
Okay.
go with like Kudobin and Allen before Holtby. Vancouver
Were you guys
has
just
no
trying
one.
to ditch Virtanen for?
Yeah, we're trying to.
There was
trade
that deal going to the Ducks, no, for Heinen at one
him.
point.
Yeah, thank God we didn't do that.
And there's 4 games on today for predictions.
Piece of
Nice.
cake.
We got Bruins and Penguins. I know you're going to be biased and pick the Penguins, Paul.
Well, not necessarily. Bruins
Pens.
are the Pens' worst competition. If Pens run into Bruins, we're in trouble because they just don't match up well, and they haven't for years. I'm gonna go Rangers, Flyers, Tampa, and both teams played yesterday. No, did Boston play yesterday? I'm gonna go Bruins.
Wow. No love for his
Yeah.
hometown Pens. How does it feel
It's
to
gonna
be a
be tough.
trader?
Well, Pens are playing back to back, right?
Pens are playing back to back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it
Um,
feels good to be a trader.
well, no. Obviously, I want Pittsburgh to win. I mean, we could use the points, but I think the position that Boston's in, they lost their last game against Buffalo. They're gonna be a little bit more hungrier, I think.
All right. I'm going Bruins, Devils, Rangers, and Lightning. Book it.
Nice. Nice.
What's
Chris?
your reasoning? What's your reasoning behind the Devils?
I don't think the Flyers are that good. I don't think
Okay.
the
No.
Devils are good at all, but I don't think the Flyers are that good. And yeah, piece of
Okay.
cake. I actually almost took the Sabres over the Rangers, but I feel like if you're the Rangers and you're fighting for your playoff dreams, if you lose this game to the Sabres, then that's
For sure.
like
Mhm.
you got to be able to bury those guys.
I'm pretty much taking all the home teams today. It's big favorites today. I mean, Tampa's, yeah, they can't lose at home against Columbus today. Yeah, they should beat them. So I'm taking all the home teams to clean house tonight.
Chris, you're up.
I got Pens, Rangers, Philly, New Jersey's a toss-up for me. I'll go with New Jersey and Tampa, like Ant said.
Yeah. What do you
Oh, I
got
missed it
there,
right
Claude
there.
Giroux? Oh, there you go.
The Rosier.
Hey, they got Spencer Knight backing up. Oh, he actually played a couple games because they got Bobrovsky's Knight and Dreger right now.
Yeah.
But Knight played well. I think he won that game, his first game, right? You could probably see Bobrovsky. And I think they want to try to move him one way or another, free up that 10 million cap space or whatever he's making there.
He's a weird guy. He was garbage for the first half of his career. So, on the Fleury talk, where does Bobrovsky fall under the goalie categories? He's got a Vezina.
He hasn't won a cup, so I don't know.
What do you?
If I'm right now, no, I would take Fleury just because of recency bias. Fleury's playing much better in my
But
opinion.
overall, when it all shakes down, who's the better goalie?
In my opinion, Bobrovsky, he's been
Wow.
top of the class. He's
Wow,
been top of the class before.
That is such a bad take.
He's been top
You
of the
owe me a
class.
pack of cards. That is
Oh,
such
please.
a bad take. You're on Fleury because he hasn't done much. Bobrovsky's won one Vezina. He stunk when he was in Philly. He went and he played 4 or 5 good years. Now he stinks again.
And with
Fleury, I
he
think
does
is
have a
at
lot of wins, though.
2.66
Good for him.
or something.
There's a lot of wins. Is that a category that you count?
Yeah, Fleury 2.08, even better.
No, career wise. We're talking. You missed that.
Oh,
No.
talking career. Oh, my bad. Okay, because Chris said this year.
No, this year Fleury I would take 100%, but career wise, I don't know. Fleury's not convincing to me. He's too inconsistent.
We
Sorry.
got another young guns here. Here we go.
Lawrence.
So you always need amazing D in front of you, man. I mean, you can be spectacular all you want. You can be the best. It's goals are gonna go in.
Goalies win games by stealing them for sure, but teams bail out their goalies just as much. That's why wins are irrelevant for goalies. How many of those are because the team has won them the game?
I smell some bad takes. That's all I know.
Yeah. The Leafs are a bad take. Okay, Steve?
Okay, hang on. Anybody else overall career wise, or Paul, overall, do you guys take Bob over Fleury?
No, I wouldn't. Obviously,
even close?
I don't think I know Bobrovsky won the Vezina and he was.
Let me check here.
He was good in Columbus and whatever, but I would always, without even thinking about it, I'd go Fleury.
And that's probably not even a biased opinion. It's just.
No, it's not. I don't know. I've seen a lot more of Fleury, obviously, as well.
I like that take. That earns you a Joseph Wall.
Wow.
There you go. And
these
what's your
pictures.
take? Bob or Fleury?
I'm taking
All
Fleury.
time. Not doing a team right now. You're going to look back at this 10 years from now and say who was the best goalie, and you're going to run a list down of the early 2000s. Is Bob anywhere close to Fleury?
I don't think he's far off, but I still have Fleury ahead of Bobrovsky. Fleury's different, man. I mean, yeah, he's given up some games, could have made some clutch saves, but he's also come out strong, man. And I think in a heartbeat, I think 10 out of 10 times I always take Fleury.
There you
9
go.
points.
All right, there you go. That earns you a Victor Soderstrom.
Boom.
Enjoy.
If you put Bobrovsky on the team that Fleury has played for, he'll have this better stats, in my opinion.
I still don't like your take, but Yegor Korshkov does like your take. So.
And he's won a Vezina. But he doesn't have a cup because he doesn't have a team.
So where would you see Bobrovsky play? What team would you want to see him on?
Me? It doesn't matter. I don't care about him. I don't know. He's
Would you want him in
overpaid.
Vancouver Canucks?
He's overpaid for sure at 10 million.
Would you want him over Demko?
No, Demko's young, and he's cheaper.
But if he can get you a cup in the next 2 years,
If anybody can get Vancouver a cup, I'll take him over Demko. Okay.
Hey, what about this goalie? We've been getting a lot of
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Sorokin. Thoughts?
Mhm.
He's
good.
looking pretty good.
He's
amazing.
good.
Is he going
Yeah.
to be better or worse than Fleury and Bobrovsky?
Man,
Too early to tell.
he definitely has the team in front of him, and he's got the skill. So
We got 1 minute left. Anything you clowns want to say?
Are the Leafs winning the cup this year?
are the Leafs winning the cup this year?
No, big no for me.
Steve, you let me hear it, man.
They should.
Steve's pretty.
They should. They should.
I don't know if they can win. I don't know if they can win the cup, man. I
They
They
mean,
should win the cup this year.
They
All things
should go to
considered.
the semis. That's it.
yeah, but when you go against a Vegas in the finals, come on. I don't think
They should.
Yeah, no, seriously, Stevie, because you're pretty realistic. Do you think they'll win? They have
I wouldn't
they have
be surprised
obviously they have an
if they
amazing
did.
opportunity.
They fell short this whole run here the last few years, and how can you say
Less
they're
than
gonna?
1 minute left. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't, but they should. They should. They're Tampa Bay. You know, you got your couple of years where you didn't do anything. They should make a big run this year, and
This is
They got,
definitely a yeah.
they got
I think
to the
this
end of
is
Matthew's
their
contract. If they don't win a cup by that,
Just want to say thanks to the guys for joining us. These are conversations we usually have all the time, but decided to throw it on a recording today and bring it to you guys. Let me know what you guys think of the video if you want to see more stuff like this or just stick to cards. Once again, thanks for watching.